Hi everyone, welcome to the Damia Method. Welcome to the 8 Stages course of Awareness to Action. Today we are talking about Stage 2. Before you watch this video, you need to have watched Stage 1, which was to respect yourself, because that is the ultimate beginning of awareness in action for transformation. So please, if you have not watched video 1, please go back onto my YouTube channel and you will find video 1 there, Respect Yourself. But today, we are going to do Stage 2, which is a word most of us are not very happy with, and that is surrender. So just remember that these 8 stages are moving from simply understanding ourselves and beginning creating meaningful change, long-lasting change. That's actually what we're wanting, is long-lasting change. So, as you all know, I got my notes with me because I do get sidetracked and I acknowledge my faults. So, are we ready to begin? Just kidding. Okay, Stage 2, guys. So, welcome to Stage 2. For many people, the word surrender is an uncomfortable word, especially in society today. It sounds like giving up, admitting defeat. Surrender sounds like accepting that nothing will change. But that's not what surrender means. Surrender isn't giving up on your life. It's giving up on this exhausting battle of control, wanting to control everything. After learning to respect yourself in Stage 1, and I really hope you went and you answered the questions that I told you to reflect on, and that you chose that one thing and that you kept those promises to yourself. Today's invitation for Stage 2 is different. I want you to ask yourself, what are you holding on to that is actually holding you back? So what is something in your life that you are refusing to let go of, and by holding on to it, you are unable to progress in your life? Sometimes we can't move forward because our hands are too full of all the stuff that happened yesterday. So today we're going to explore, in the context of the Damia Method, what surrender actually means, and why letting go is often the beginning of real freedom. Most of us spend a surprising amount of energy trying to control things that we were never meant to control. And I am the first to admit that I used to be a perfectionist. Everything had its place. Everything ran like clockwork. And if something came in that derailed my schedule, I exploded. I'm older now. I'm wiser now. And I am more accepting of not being able to have control of everything. We try to control what other people think of us. We replay conversations in our minds over and over and over again. A situation can happen and you hang on to, that person should have apologized. I don't know why they didn't apologize. They should have apologized. We carry guilt over decisions we've made, and you can't go back and undo it. So you just keep playing it over and over again. And it's surprising how heavy that is. Somewhere along the way, we worry about a future that hasn't happened yet, kind of living with anxiety of what could come, what could happen. And I don't know about you, but I find that absolutely exhausting. And it's not because life is hard. It's because we try to carry things that we weren't supposed to carry. So surrender begins with awareness. It begins by recognizing the difference between the things that you do have control over and the things that you don't. And if you have watched any of my other videos, I speak about tough love. I speak about accepting. Accepting things, and you get what you tolerate. And I also tell you that my father always told me that the only thing you have 100% control over is your response to a situation. So you can't control someone else's behavior. You can't rewrite your past, although many of us wish we could. You can't force healing to happen overnight. And I'm not just talking about a physical healing. It can be an emotional healing. It can be something that happened mentally, emotionally, physically. You know, you can't force it to happen. You can't make everyone understand your journey. When I started this whole journey of awareness, I had a lot of people in my life that were a bit wary of what I was doing. What is this gratitude thing that you're focusing on? What is this awareness? What is happening to you as a person? But it's your journey. You don't have to explain it to everybody, and that everybody doesn't have to understand what you're doing. You can't choose how people respond to you. You can choose how you respond. A very important lesson I learned is I can choose where my energy goes. And I can choose what to take with me forward. So it's my choice what I leave behind. And you've heard me say this many times. You are the author of your story. It's your choice what's going to happen in the next chapter, what you're going to carry from the last chapter. So one of your greatest acts of self-respect is deciding what you will no longer allow on the outside to determine what's happening to your peace. Let me say that again. You will no longer allow things outside of your control to determine your peace. Make sense? So think about how much time you spend asking questions that have no answer. Think about it. Things like, why did they do that? If things had been different, if I'd made a different decision, what if I fail? And I don't believe in the word fail. By the way, when I used to teach, I used to tell all my students, fail is your first attempt in learning. I don't believe in fail. I believe in a lesson. Sometimes those questions that you ask yourself will actually keep you trapped. And you don't need to be in that space anymore. It's a space you don't belong in. And surrender doesn't always give you the answers, but it does give you a sense of peace. And I'm not saying that you blindly lie there and you just accept. Remember, I have spoken to you before about taking control in the sense of life doesn't happen to you, life happens through you. It all starts with awareness. It all starts with self-respect. And you move on to surrendering the things that you do not have control over. People often think that surrender is passive, that you're going to become like a sloth. It isn't. Surrender is an active decision. It's choosing to stop fighting battles that no longer serve you. It's releasing resentment. That's where forgiveness comes in. It's loosening your grip on perfection. It's accepting, and it's a hard one, that some chapters have to end. That some stories are done. It's trusting that not everything needs to make sense today. And one of the hardest things about surrender is letting go of the version of a life you expected. Maybe you imagined that your career would have gone differently. Mine went in a completely different direction. Maybe your relationship with a certain person, whether it was a spouse, a family member, a friend, didn't unfold the way you hoped. Maybe your health changed unexpectedly. Maybe you've experienced loss, and I know we've all got some loss, but maybe you've experienced loss in such a way that you feel other people just don't understand. We all carry disappointment. But when we refuse to let go of the life that we'd planned, you know, you had this set goal when you were younger, this is how you were going to do it. Sometimes we then miss what life actually has waiting for us. Think about that. You could have an idea of certain things you wanted to achieve, but if you don't let go of the things that didn't happen the way you wanted them to, there is so much still waiting for you in life that you may not have even thought about. It wasn't even in your plan. You never even imagined it was humanly possible. That could still come your way, but it's only going to come to you when you let it come to you. When you release, when you surrender the things you do not have control. It will come. It will happen. Surrender does not erase your pain, but it will change your relationship with pain. Instead of saying, why did this happen to me? And a lot of you know that I had that question a lot when I was diagnosed. You can take a situation and go, what can I learn from this? Thank you for the lesson. How does this experience shape me as a person? What do I take from this moving forward in the story I am writing about my life? So, for example, me getting cancer is not something I had control over. Going through treatment, side effects of medication, the path of recovery, finding out it's chronic and it's something that will never go away. These are all things that I have no control over as an individual. However, my response to my situation, my response to the life I'm living, my response to how my body's changed, how I need to cope, that's up to me. And you know what? I live a beautiful life. I am so grateful for the life I'm still living. I'm so excited about the season I am in. Despite anything else, regardless of the things of my past, I left them there. I surrendered it. I cannot hang on to it. It's exhausting. So I take now and I live now and I wake up every day. And as I put my feet on the ground, I say, good morning, Lord. I am grateful for today. That's literally how I start my day every day. So the ultimate question is, you ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become from this experience I've just had? And this is where you go from surviving to growing. Throughout the Damia method, you'll notice a pattern. Awareness always comes before action. And today, awareness asks the simple question, what am I still trying to control? What do you need to surrender? Because once you can name it, oh, honey, you can let it go. So take a few moments to reflect. What situation keeps replaying in your mind? Okay, write this down if you need to. Who or what are you trying to control? What emotion are you carrying around that you actually don't need anymore? What would become lighter if you finally let it go? And perhaps the most important question, what would your life look like if you trusted that you didn't have to carry everything alone? Sit with those questions. Don't rush them. Sometimes awareness grows in the silence. Thank you for joining me today. Feel free to rewatch, to download, and I look forward to spending time with you again when we do stage 3. Have a good one.